let's all stand and let's just lead us in.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world, is a blessing to the world, is a blessing to the world. Beautiful. Good morning, everyone. Take a moment and say hello to someone maybe you haven't met yet. And those of you online, type something in the chat.
Okay, I thought I was pretty low too.
Okay.
Are you going to do the children?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, Robin.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place beautiful. Okay, if there are any kids in the house today, we have two wonderful instructors to take you outside and do some really fun things. So come on up.
1, 2, 3.
Hooray for the world, glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We've got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and the sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We've got Mother Nature and the human race. We've got Mother Nature and the human race.
Good morning. My name is Susan Janzik, and I'm the practitioner of the day. And we have many ways for you to contact us. Practitioners love to pray, and we have lovely gifts for you too that offer prayers in several baskets. So we'd love for you to take them. And I'd like to remind you to turn off your cell phones if you haven't already. And join me now. Join me in this beautiful morning, leaning into the beauty, the crisp air, the beautiful blossoms on the trees, and the lovely daffodils and hyacinths and tulips all bursting from the ground, ready to embrace spring. And know with me, as I know, that there is only one divine presence, one light, one love, one power, one beauty. The divine presence is in and through all life, always moving through life, always has been and always will. And I know for myself that love is the way forward, the way in this world to make a difference. And today, as I lean into this beautiful day with all of the blessings of this space, I am so grateful for the love and the light that is in and through all things, all people, no matter the situation. Love shines through and is the way for more and more good on the planet. And I release these words into the creative medium, knowing they are so, and so it is.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is love. In the stillness of this moment there is peace.
So much for that plan. So welcome to Practitioner Sunday Service. I'm Kalish Leviel, one of your practitioners, and there are many of us hiding here in the congregation today, and at the end, I'll have all of them stand so that you can see them in all their glory and know who to go to when that's what you want. I thought I would start with what we believe. These are about a dozen different statements. It kind of depends on how you break them out, that Ernest Holmes wrote of what we believe. And one of the things that we believe is that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. So that's how come this all works. The other one that is most relevant is we believe in the healing of the sick and the control of conditions through the power of this mind. And I want to actually take the chutzpah to change the words, okay? Instead of control of conditions, that might sound more like we can actually control the conditions. You know, and it's like, no, I think it's that we are creating the conditions through our prayers. And so I wanted to put this all in perspective for you. Now, most of us have come here from another tradition or from another culture like the one we grew up in. And typically when speaking about prayers, people have a tendency to think of pleading to an external deity. And that's not what we think. And so I wanted to put that to rest right now. And so when people say our prayers are with you, they're talking about different than our 5-step process of doing affirmative prayer. The 5 steps to our prayers, I thought I would. Recognition. By the way, remember you saw one of the ways to reach out for prayer requests is to put a prayer request in the vessel in the back. These forms are back there. To be honest with you, I don't remember all those 5 steps by name. I remember them by what I do with them. So, but this tells me it's my cheat sheet. Recognition is first, then comes unification. So recognition is that God and Spirit is all there is. Unification is I am one with God and Spirit. Realization, I accept and embody my good. Thanksgiving, I give thanks. And release, I let it all go and turn it over to the video that's going to share more about Dr. Holmes's teachings.
In this video, we go through the key teachings from Creative Mind and Success by Ernest Holmes, a profound book that reveals the spiritual laws governing success, prosperity, and the infinite power of thought. Holmes, the founder of the science of mind philosophy, teaches that we are not separate from universal intelligence, but are active participants in its creative unfolding. He explains that our external reality is not shaped by chance or external forces, but by the thoughts, beliefs, and spiritual alignment we hold within. True success, according to Holmes, is not about struggle, competition, or relentless effort. Instead, it is about understanding the fundamental principles that govern creation and aligning with them. The world around us is a mirror, reflecting our inner world. Let's now explore these key lessons and how they can transform not just our finances, but our entire way of living. Teaching 1. Thought is the creative force of reality. Holmes teaches that thought is the first cause of everything we experience. Most people assume that their thoughts are insignificant or that they merely reflect external circumstances. But Holmes reveals that thought is not passive, it is active, creative, and law-governed. Every thought we hold, whether intentionally or unintentionally, is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind. This seed will grow and manifest as tangible experiences in our lives. This process unfolds because the subconscious mind is a receptive field that does not question. It simply accepts what it is given and seeks to bring it into form. When we consistently think thoughts of lack, limitation, fear, or struggle, these thoughts begin to form patterns in our subconscious. The subconscious mind then recreates these patterns in our external reality. Holmes emphasizes that changing external conditions requires changing our mental patterns first. We do not attract what we want, we attract what we are in vibrational harmony with. This is why he stresses the importance of consciously choosing our thoughts, as every thought we hold either strengthens or weakens our creative power. Teaching 2. The law of cause and effect governs all creation. Holmes explains that the universe operates under an unchanging spiritual law, the law of cause and effect. Every thought we hold, every emotion we feel, and every belief we entertain serves as a cause that will eventually produce an effect in our external world. This law is just as precise as gravity. It does not fail and it does not play favorites. It simply reflects back to us whatever we impress upon it. Most people believe that circumstances are random or outside of their control, but Holmes reveals that circumstances are merely the effects of previous mental causes. If someone repeatedly experiences failure, lack, or struggle, it is not because the universe is against them, it is because they are unknowingly setting into motion the very conditions they wish to avoid. Holmes teaches that this law is absolute and impersonal. It does not judge, it simply delivers results based on what we feed into it. Once we understand this principle, we can stop fighting circumstances and start creating them consciously.
So, I'm going to talk about the
In this
creative
video-
process. And the creative process is the idea that Holmes put forward that what we think, we become. And so I'm going to draw your attention to this middle flag right here. See the one with the V? In the lovely turquoise, right there. And you see those 3 lines. So I'm going to give you a little mnemonic device to remember the creative process. Seed, soil, plant. The seed, you see how it's divided into 3 areas up there? So the seed is actually the idea, the thought that we think, that we create with. So let's say, for example, you wanted to grow an apple tree. So you think, oh, okay, I have a lot of different choices for apples. What do I want? Oh, I prefer Granny Smith apples. So I'm going to think, oh, I want a Granny Smith apple. That's implanted. And so let's say all of a sudden the seed of Granny Smith apple tree, goes into that middle space, which is where law happens. Ernest Holmes had an overall arching theory that it's called the law of good. It's totally impersonal. It doesn't care what you're thinking. It wants to give it to you. It always responds with a yes. It doesn't sort of go, really, do you really want a Granny Smith apple? Maybe a Fuji apple would be better? Maybe a little bit more nutritious for you? It doesn't do that. It says, oh, you want a Granny Smith apple tree? I'm going to give you a Granny Smith apple tree. So all of a sudden, we move into the lower quadrant, which is where the plant appears, where the manifestation and the demonstration happens. And that's seed, soil, plant. Y'all get it? It's pretty simple. it's more complex. We sometimes sort of go, oh, well, I want a Granny Smith apple, but I plant the Granny Smith. Oh, well, maybe I really don't want a Granny Smith apple. Maybe I want a Macintosh instead. And so all of a sudden you're back up to the top quadrant, and you sort of like wandered around that top quadrant going, well, what kind of apple do I really, really want? Well, once you finally decide, that's planted. And the universe, the universal mind, this power, this energy that envelops all of us and is made of everything, says, you want that apple? I'm going to give you that apple. And then all of a sudden, lower quadrant, boom, apple tree. Granny Smith, Macintosh, Fuji, you choose your apple. It really doesn't matter. It's your choice. That's the other wonderful thing about this. We always are at choice. We get to choose exactly what we want to create. That's the creative process. And you see that middle V? That's the whole thing sort of synthesized down into that lower quadrant. Seed, soil, plant. So now we're going to look at how many times, sometimes with the Mary Morrissey video, that we sort of limit our thinking. And so if we could have that video.
Most of us have been introduced to the law of attraction, but there's something missing in our understanding about the law of attraction, or we would attract only that which we want, right? Once you're introduced to a law, it seems like it should be simple then to just apply that in a way that would always bring us what it is that we say we want. What is it that is preventing most people from attracting what they truly want? Paradigms. So imagine, I'll tell you about a paradigm. Man goes fishing. He's heard about this great fishing stream. So he goes and he tosses his line in the stream, and he waits. He looks down the bank and he sees an old guy pulling in one fish after another. And every fish he pulls out, he watches the old guy, and the old guy measures that fish by a broken off ruler that he has laying on the edge of the riverbank. And then the young guy notices something, that the old guy, after measuring the fish that comes out of the stream, if the fish is bigger than the broken off ruler, he tosses it back in the stream. But if the fish is smaller than the broken off ruler, he puts it in his bucket. And the young guy thinks, I wonder why he's throwing the big fish back. Do they get bony if they get big, or is there some sort of license? Does our fishing license only allow us to get the fish that are a certain size out of this stream? So he interrupts the old guy and he says, excuse me, but I'm watching what you're doing. You're pulling in all the fish. I mean, you have amazing capacity to bring in the fish, but why do you throw the big ones back and keep the little ones? And the old guy says, buddy, see that broken off ruler on the edge of the riverbank? And the kid says, yes. And he says, that broken off ruler is broken off at exactly the size of the frying pan I use. Right? So we'd laugh at a fisherman who would not realize you could use bigger fish even with a frying pan that size. But ultimately, that's what you and I do. The stream of life tosses us a big fish. It's an idea. It's a possibility. We measure it by the size of the frying pan we have, which is our known world, what we've already accomplished. And the big idea comes and we say, well, I don't have the money to do that. Or we say, or I don't have the contacts to do that, or I don't have the right age to do that, or I don't have the experience to do that, or my frying pan, that idea, that life doesn't fit in this frying pan. And we essentially toss it back to the stream of life and say, give me a fish that fits in the frying pan I've got, or the life I know.
So I ask you, what kind of frying pan have you had in your life? What kinds of limiting thoughts have you maybe experienced? I know for myself that I have them. And Ernest Holmes said, spiritual mind treatment is the art and the act and the science of using the creative law for the purpose of producing a definite result. The art is the practice like prayer and meditation and going within. And the act is deeply knowing that connection with the one, knowing that there's no space, that the one is within all things and within me. And the science part is just like Michael described, planting the seed, not wavering, or if you waver, finally get back to the Granny Smith and plant it, and it manifests. The law doesn't judge, it just produces. So, a really great example in my life of having a frying pan, I'd like to share with you. I was new to Science of Mind in 1980. I know that was a long time ago, but I'm old. I lived in San Luis Obispo, California, on 7 acres, and my daughter was real young, and she wanted a horse. Doesn't every little girl want a horse? And so we learned that there was a neighbor down the street that had an old Arabian that horse had trained 3 of her kids to ride, so would probably be a good fit for my daughter, who was 8. So the neighbor was sweet enough to let my daughter go down and practice on this horse and get to learn how to take care of it. And then the owner offered me, you could pay, I'll sell you this horse for $25 a week. Remember, this was 1980. And I said, great, that'll be great. I didn't know anything about horses. I grew up on the coast in California. I didn't know anything about this. But my daughter wanted a horse, so what are you going to do? So we got the horse. My daughter had to ride it back to the house, and because I had no trailer. And it wasn't long before she wanted to barrel race and ride Gymkhana. And there was a little riding ring right across the Salinas River from our house, so she was able to safely get over and use the ring there to practice. However, soon it became apparent that she thought she would ride in events, which meant, oops, now I have another expense. I have to find a trailer. So being new to SOM, Science of Mind, I thought, okay, I know how to do this. I can do this, Grammy. I'll just pray. Well, I didn't have all the components. I didn't have the piece of the art and the act and the science down. So I thought, I've got to get a trailer fast because the event was soon. So in my thinking and in my thoughts and in my prayer, first was find a fast trailer that I can get a hold of. The trailer wasn't fast, but the arrival of the trailer would be fast. And the other thing that came to mind was, I hope I can afford it. I hope I can afford it. Back to the videos that you've seen. So I felt pretty good about my process. And I thought things were moving along really well. And I forgot the real components for a horse trailer would be maybe sturdy belt, maybe dual axle, maybe brakes, brake lights, and a door that could close. Well, guess what I got? I got a very old wooden trailer that had holes on the floor inside that I had to patch. I mean, because remember, could I afford it was part of the condition that I put out. And it was single axle, and the tires weren't great. And by the way, there were no brake lights. But not to be discouraged, because that was the trailer I could use. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I was driving a 59 GMC truck to pull this trailer. Anyway, it was the day of my daughter's event. And I, for the first time, realized I needed to somehow get the horse in the trailer. But I didn't know how to do that. So I took its lead line. Anybody here have horse experience? You'll know the fallacy in this. I was going like this, trying to pull this Arabian heavy horse into this trailer. Well, the horse is smarter than I am. He knows he doesn't want to go in that piece of junk. Nor does he want me driving the old truck with him in the back. However, a neighbor was driving by and saw me struggling with this Arabian, pulled over, and he said, "Let me show you how to get this horse in." Anybody heard of a rump line? Well, I'll show you how it works. My neighbor put a rope around the horse's rear end, and he told me to go like this and walk backwards. Well, guess what? The horse went, because he didn't want to get, So as I backed into the trailer, the horse got into the trailer, and off we went. We were all excited. I was excited for a different reason than my daughter was. I was scared to death, and so was the horse. I could picture him covering his eyes on the way down this long grade we had to go. And I realized there's been lots of times in my life that I've needed a rump line to move past my restricted thinking, my limited thinking. I needed something to move me forward. I bet some of you have experienced that too, where you, in your thoughts and your hopes and your dreams, you thought, oh, this is what I want. But then maybe you were like me and thought, well, I can only afford X. I can only do X. And without expanding our mind and our prayers to go with it, we get that frying pan. So I really started to learn after that about the art and the act and the science part that Michael described, and really started to guard my thoughts, even though some days they still trail off into the boondocks and need to be pulled back. I also remember what Ralph Waldo Emerson said, stand guard at the portal of your mind. And that's really true. That takes it, I think, covers it all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Susan. Great story. So I'm just going to take a minute or two to give some examples that I've found I've used for prayer and what happened. So the first thing this is actually a prayer that I've used a lot because it just seems to come up in my life. And I was a programmer for a while, a computer programmer, and I worked for Cindy's company for a long time, but now we're starting to retire. But when you write computer programs, you can't actually see what's happening. And so if something doesn't happen that you think should happen, you're scratching your head, you can't tell why. And it's very frustrating, especially if you think, this part works, that part works, why isn't it working? It should work, but it's not. That's the problem. So you're wondering why. So this is one of those situations where you don't know what's going on. You have no way of really knowing what's going on. So I would turn to Science of Mind. Ernest Holmes had a prayer. You've probably heard somebody say, at least part of it. It's, to paraphrase, it goes, there is one mind. That mind is God's mind. That mind is perfect. That mind is my mind now. And what I love about that is it makes me remember, when I say that, it makes me remember that there's just one consciousness. You could call it universal consciousness, divine mind, whatever you want, or you could call it God even. But there's just one, and that means that anything that is known anywhere in this divine mind can be known anywhere else. So if I need to know something, I can know it, as long as I accept that. And so once I'm all frustrated, like, whatever, yelling at the screen, I think is what I do. Once I remind myself that this knowledge, the answer to this problem is known and it's knowable and I can know it, then I calm down and then I can start to think, maybe I should look at the change that I made last week to the thing. Maybe that has something to do with it. So then I look at that and I go, oh, there it is. So that's something you can use all the time. It even comes in handy when I forget where my wallet is and I have to rush out of the house. Where is my wallet? Instead of getting all frustrated, I can just sort of let go of the frustration and just know that I probably can remember if I'm relaxed enough. So that's one thing that just comes up a lot for some reason. I guess it's because I'm wrong about a lot of things. I don't know. But the other thing that I have noticed recently, and this is kind of a life change, Cindy and I are moving into retirement more, over the year. And so it's getting to the point where I'm thinking, what am I going to be doing when I'm not programming anymore? And just really quickly, because I had no idea exactly what I want to do. I used to love the theater. I used to be in an improv group. I play music a lot. I wrote songs. I got to channel to my joy, my love of playing the piano and singing and being in the band here once in a while. It's a great thrill for me and an honor because it's a band. Tabor's wonderful and it's a great band. But I didn't quite know what it was that I wanted to do. And so I subscribed to this Facebook group for Whatcom County musicians. And one day there was a post by the improv comedy group in downtown, the Upfront Theater. And it turns out they do improvised full-length musicals. And I was like, how is that possible? How could a musician invent the music while the singers are singing the song? It just didn't seem possible. So I went to a little workshop that they had. And as soon as I figured out, oh, this is just improv, but one person is playing the piano. And it's like, I know that may not make sense, but it made sense to me at the time. It's like, wow, this is so cool. And I started doing it. And it took me a while to kind of really get my arms around it, but I just did they do it only one show, 1 month of every year. They do a show like this, and they do it like 10 times, however many they can, on Fridays and Saturdays. And so I got to do it last March, and then this March they just did a run of 10 shows, and I got to play at 5 of them, which is really super fun. So the point I want to take out of that is that this was something I really didn't know that I wanted. I mean, I knew the feeling that I wanted, the kind of the experience, but I couldn't have said, oh, I want to find an improv group that does musical comedy. No, I didn't know that existed. So this was beyond the size of my frying pan. So that, I just hold that out to you as a way to think about prayer. You think in terms of what the experience you was, what's the experience you want to feel, or the end result, or that kind of thing. And then you turn it over. I mean, I can say, I let go, let God. That's the expression. But I just didn't know, and luckily, I was in a Facebook group, and somebody decided to post in that Facebook group, and I happened to see it, and I happened to went, well, this is it. Thank you.
So you guys are all facing this way, and I get to face that way and find out that we're out of time. So, well, not quite out of time because we're not done with what we want to say. So the first thing I want to do is get all the practitioners to stand up, okay? So these 3 are easy. There you go. Look around. Those are our practitioners. You can call on us whenever you want. However, at 3:30 in the morning, if you're suddenly experiencing vertigo, it's like, who am I going to call? This just happened a couple days ago. It was Friday night, so Saturday morning, and I needed to be somewhere. And so what do I do when I get up first thing? I pretend I'm addicted to my phone. And I pull it out and I look at what text messages did I miss before I went to bed. And actually there was one from my dear practitioner friend, Wanda, offering me a book. I was like, how cool. Guess what? I don't need a book. I need healing now. So I responded to her text and I told her what I was going through with vertigo, and by the way, I'll do some prayers in the meantime. So Philip, could you put up on the screen our prayers? It doesn't matter. It's 24/7. These prayers are out there. There's 45 of them in 6 different categories. You know, I picked the healer, health and wellness one, and just started listening and listening. Fell back asleep, And at 7:30, my alarm went off, and I had to get up to go do my day. And again, checked my text, and there wasn't anything there, and I wobbled over to the bathroom, holding on to walls while I got there. And about 20 minutes later, Wanda's prayer came through, and suddenly I was fine. No more vertigo. Until I brought it back last night, but that's a different story. So we won't go there because we have run out of time, and I want to answer a couple questions like, what if you're in the middle of a desert island and you don't have this available to you? You can always do one of two things. The first part of prayer is knowing that it's all divine. Whatever you're going through, it's divine. Sometimes that's hard to reckon with, but it's divine. It's part of spirit. It's a blessing. It's sacred. It's for you, not to you. But the easier one maybe to get in touch with is what I call gratitude intervention. Just start thinking about what you're grateful for. Grateful for no longer experiencing vertigo. Grateful for having a podium here that I can hold on to. Grateful for you. Grateful for you. Grateful for you in my life. So I'm going to go ahead a moment to this afternoon's workshop is all about prayer. And I just want to encourage you to take it and learn more about this. And call on us if you need it, if you want it. And we'll turn it over to the platform host.
All right. Thank you all. Practitioner Sunday. You learned something. And we didn't even have to have a chalkboard or anything up here. So right now, I'd like to invite our ushers to come forward. And we're entirely self-supporting through the generosity of your gifts to us, of your time, as people back on the streaming and sound and our band. It's, they invest their talent. And we just ask, if you are feeling fed spiritually, please feel free to give what you can. Thank you. No? Oh, now I am. Okay, good. So, a few announcements, and we'll go through these really fast because there's one big announcement that we have to talk about soon. So, affirmative prayer today in the sanctuary. You get to learn how to do affirmative prayer, the 5 steps that Kalish was talking about. free of charge here in the sanctuary with our own practitioners, Heidi Ruth and Andrea Wood. We're here to give that to you because we're here to help you in your life. Just move you through your life. Next, we have Sound Bath Journey. It starts on Wednesday, April 2nd. It's in the afternoons, I believe, from 2 to 3 here in the sanctuary. And suggested donation amount is between 5 and 20, but no one will be turned away. Next, we have Spirit at Works, our monthly networking opportunity led by Cindy Clay, my fellow ministerial student. And this month, we have Ann Richardson, the fabulous Ann Richardson, talking about spiritual holistic customer service. I mean, that's sort of interesting, although it's at 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm still having coffee. So anyway, next we have Dr. Bob is coming back, Reverend Dr. Bob. Anyway, he's coming back, and this is a really, really important workshop that he's conducting. If you haven't attended the other two, it's okay. Come to this one, because this is the one where we're making the visioning for what we want our new minister to be. It's like really, really important, because part of this goes into our package that goes to the home office when we post for the open position here. So that's going to be on Sunday, April 13th from noon to 2 p.m., visioning with Dr. Bob for the new minister. If you miss the other two, plan on attending this one. Your voice is important for this. Then we get to go up. Here we go. Here's our guest speaker, Kathy Angel.
Thank you. Good morning. So let me tell you how much I love this community and how impressed I am. Last week, we only had 4 hosts signed up so far to host a Gourmets for Good event around food. If you're new today, this is where people in the community host these wonderful events around food. They might be a breakfast, a dinner, a tea, whatever, a hike with a picnic. And then the rest of us get to bid for a place at the table. It is the best connecting event and fundraiser that we do. So we had 4. I had my clipboard, and after the service, by the end of the time that people left and up till today, if everyone signs up who said they wanted to, we have 17 events. Yep. So Sandy will be up here. We'll still be at the stage today. So if you still feel like you might like to be involved in something like this, I do know that we have a wonderful person who has a home, but just needs some chefs to show up and help put an event on. So if that calls to you at all, please come up. I mean, wouldn't it be great if we ended up with 20? That's a record of all time. So anyway, and I just want to say too, a nod to the practitioners on this topic today, that prayer and this 5-step prayer we have at CSL is the most powerful tool we have. And if that's something that you're not familiar with and aren't using on a regular basis, I strongly suggest you go to that workshop or take an upcoming class to learn more about it, because it truly works. And as Gourmets for Good has now shown, it works in every way.
Totally in every way. Thank you, Kathy. 17. That's a lot of food. God. Anyway, so speaking of food, we have fellowship potlucks coming up with Dr. Bob. We have one on Sunday, April 13th at 5:30. That's being hosted by Jean and Mike Wilson. It's over in Sudden Valley. I don't know where Sudden Valley is from here. I think it's that way. And then on Friday, April 18th, this is on Lummi. So you get to take a ferry. It's a boat ride. Okay, it's 5 minutes long, but still, you get on the water, please. Anyway, that's being hosted by, Dan Dietrich and Heidi Ruth over on their place. It's at 4:30, and so you have to catch the 4:10 ferry. I also give out, ferry schedules, so there we go. Then we also, we have the Passover Seder here at CSL. This is brand new, right? And so it's on April 19th. It's a potluck from 4 to 7. It's being led, in combination with Dr. Bob and Rabbi Kalish Leviel, our resident rabbi. You didn't know we had one of those now, but now you do. Anyway, so please bring a dish to share, sit down, share fellowship. It's wonderful. Everything is at the Ask Me desk. And do we have another one? Oh, the mow team. Who wants to be on the mow team? You get to ride a mower all over the place and mow grass. What's better for a Saturday afternoon, right? You get to wear your hat, you can decorate your hat, you can do whatever you want to with that, and you get to ride a mower and mow and then there's a flower. So I guess I'm supposed to stop talking now, as gently suggested by the sound and streaming team. Anyway, so let's just go with that. Join the Mo team. That's my last pitch to y'all, okay? So if you all like to stand, let's just sing ourselves out and celebrate a new day. Thank you.
Have a wonderful week, everybody.